Part 9. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 82. The middle of the battlefield. Gong Zheng has already started wrestling with Dolaku, both of them are fighting fiercely, and both want to knock the other down. Dolaku has a huge level advantage, while Gong Zheng mainly adds strength. Although he is at a disadvantage, he will not lose for a while. Now Wang Shuo and others must quickly clean up the horse bandits on the periphery. As time goes by, the number of horse bandits begins to decrease rapidly. Half an hour later, the few remaining horse bandits turned around and ran away. Gong Zheng also fell into exhaustion and was directly pressed under his opponent. Ayub replaced Gong Zheng and fought with Dolaku in close combat. Dolaku, who was in a desperate situation, spit out a mouthful of blood and cursed, "Do you dare to fight with Grandpa?" He admitted that he was too reckless to fight 10 people alone before. Seeing that he could not leave alive, he wanted to choose a decent way to die. "Okay, we will give you a quick death." Wang Shuo also sympathized with him, the hero's end. It was impossible to let him go, but before dying, he could still satisfy his opponent's wish for a duel. The cavalry squad formed a circle and watched the final battle between Ayub and Dolaku. Because Dolaku had been seriously injured before, and his physical strength was greatly consumed, the battle with Ayub was at an absolute disadvantage from the beginning. 10 minutes later, Dolaku closed his eyes forever. Your subordinate Ayub killed the third in command of Filong village and a junior general, ID, Bandit 20,014 Dolaku. You led your cavalry squad and won a battle perfectly. After a hard and arduous battle, your command value add 5. Your level was upgraded to level 13. Your dragon spear art was upgraded to level 3, and you gained all attributes add 1, command value add 1, attack power add 2. Your subordinates have been upgraded. A series of system prompts sounded, but none of them attracted much attention from Wang Shuo. At this time, he saw that a purple scroll and 2 pieces of equipment fell next to Doriku's body. After picking them up, he saw their basic information. Proof of military officer transfer. After using it, you can transfer to become a military officer. Long axe, gold quality, strength add 50, attack add 140, skill, fierce attack charge for 2 seconds, release 3 times of your own strength to attack. The first attack is more effective, CD, 10 minutes, durability 100/100. Chainmail, gold quality, constitution add 50, defense add 80, skill, iron wall release an absolute defense once, which can reduce the opponent's damage by 99.9%, CD, 30 minutes, durability 100/100. Wang Shuo was so excited that he was speechless for a long time when he saw these 3 items. This is definitely a little cow dancing, one is awesome on the left, and the other is awesome on the right. But at this time, Wang Shuo was in a dilemma because his trusted general and his profession conflicted. He wanted to keep such powerful equipment for himself, but reason told him that it was the best choice to transfer Ayub to a general and equip him with chainmail. After thinking it over, he decided to put the equipment away first and wait for later. After cleaning the battlefield, he got more than 120 energy crystals and 2 soul crystals. These 2 soul crystals were naturally exploded by Dolaku, and he also exploded 50 energy crystals. This made Wang Shuo feel a little surprised. It turned out that each life did not necessarily have only 1 soul crystal. In addition to this, there are many excellent equipments. Gong Zheng and others handed them all to Wang Shuo. "I can't see that you can actually defeat a junior general." Dongfang Ling slowly walked to Wang Shuo's side and said with a smile, "I thought I needed to take action." Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 83. Seeing Dongfang Ling's afterthought, Wang Shuo rolled his eyes at her and said nothing. After a while, Wang Shuo asked with some doubt, "Miss Dongfang, shouldn't you be with Xiefan, Dongfang Ling curled her lips and said lightly, that annoying guy, I just used a little trick to get rid of him. Wang Shuo shook his head after hearing this, smiled bitterly, and said solemnly, Miss Dongfang, we are going back to protect the village now. We are still alive and dead. Let's say goodbye. Protect the village. Her pupils suddenly enlarged, revealing an excited expression. Don't. Look, you saved me again, how predestined we are. I'm very strong, I can also help you protect the village. Wang Shuo had never seen her take action, and this pampered young lady didn't believe how strong she was. If she said that she had a life-saving prop, such as a random teleportation scroll, he would believe it. However, Wang Shuo did not want to rely on her power, and still politely refused. You have also heard the system announcement. The wild beasts are going to attack the village. There must be more than one or two. When the time comes, it must be extremely dangerous. I might even have to abandon the village and flee. There is no way to protect you. I don't need your protection. I am really strong. Wang Shuo tried to persuade her, but Dongfang Ling's attitude was very firm. In desperation, Wang Shuo no longer cared about her, and directly led his cavalry team to continue to advance towards Wana village. Dongfang Ling rode on her own wind-chasing leopard and followed slowly behind. After a while, her mount, the wind-chasing leopard, let herself go, relying on its fast speed, around Wang Shuo's cavalry team, left and right, front and back. This gave Wang Shuo a headache, and at the same time, an idea came to his mind. If it were possible to form a cavalry full of such exotic beast mounts, how powerful it would be. Seeing Dongfang Ling's chasing wind leopard's arrogant look, Wang Shuo yelled at Dongfang Ling in a depressed tone, can't you just be quiet? At first, she looked pitiful. Seeing Wang Shuo start to pay attention to her, she immediately scolded chasing wind leopard, then joined Wang Shuo's team with a smile, looking proud. After a while, Wana village arrived. After 2 days, the village has undergone tremendous changes, and a large number of arrow towers can be seen from afar. Entering the wall, the people saw the cavalry led by Wang Shuo, which was majestic and awe-inspiring, and they were all envious. Lord, good. Wang Shuo also responded with a smile, everyone has worked hard. Seeing this scene, Wang Shuo was full of pride, thinking in his heart that he must build Wana village more prosperous than Nanshanji. Hearing someone calling him Lord, Duan Wengzi hurried over and said with a smile, Boss, I miss you so much. Wang Shuo glared at him unhappily and scolded him with a smile, the war is imminent, what are you talking about? Bah, Duan Wengzi immediately explained, Boss, look at my crow mouth, I mean it feels like a long time since we last met, no, it's just. Okay, stop talking. Dongfang Ling was beside him, and after hearing what Duan Wengzi said, she laughed so hard that tears were about to flow out. Who is this? Duan Wengzi looked at Dongfang Ling and then looked at Wang Shuo and asked. At the same time, he clenched his fists with his 2 thumbs facing each other, shaking them up and down. Seeing Duan Wengzi's sly smile, Wang Shuo immediately put away his horse cards, walked up to Duan Wengzi, punched him, and said seriously, don't talk nonsense, this is Miss Dongfang. I understand, Duan Wengzi also immediately restrained his smile and said seriously. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 84. In the meeting room, Wang Shuo summoned the main stewards of the territory. Suo Yang, please report the situation first. Wang Shuo looked at Suo Yang, the steward of the craftsman camp, and said lightly. Yes, Lord Suo Yang stood up, cleared his throat, and said proudly, in the past 2 days, we have built a large number of residential houses. At present, there are 120 residential houses in the territory, which can fully meet the living needs of all of us. At the same time, we also built 10 arrow towers and 10 energy towers inside the outer wall. Wang Shuo pondered for a while, thinking that it would be best to be able to attack with arrow towers in the next battle. Then he said, "Next, you organize more manpower to double the number of arrow towers and energy towers." "Yes, Lord." "Mutar, how many weapons has your blacksmith shop produced recently?" "My lord, according to your instructions, we have only made 500,000 arrows so far, mainly because the number of feathers is too small and there is a shortage of manpower." Before leaving, Wang Shuo handed all the captured weapons and equipment to him, asking him to restore durability and repair some damaged ones. "What about the weapons and equipment that can be used?" "There are 22 sets of sophisticated iron armor, and 50 sets of weapons." After listening to their reports, Wang Shuo's brain was running at high speed, thinking about the next arrangements. Wang Shuo understood that in this chaotic world, he must learn to deal with these things. Dong Fangling looked at this boring pre-war meeting, yawned, and walked out of the meeting room directly, wanting to go out for some fresh air. "De Huang, come and lead the way for me." Dong Fangling saw De Huang, his face was happy, and he walked over slowly. De Huang ignored her. Everyone in Wana village knew that he was the Lord's dog, so he could walk sideways here. Lying in the yard outside the meeting hall, he was basking in the sun comfortably. Dong Fangling saw that the dog ignored him. "You are really blind." So he planned to lure him with food. Dong Fangling took out a piece of wild boar meat, and De Huang didn't look up with dignity. Then there was a piece of fish meat. Until a palm-sized piece of exotic beast meat appeared, De Huang finally couldn't hold back. Woof! It shook its tail at Dong Fangling. Wang Shuo woke up immediately when he heard the dog barking. He had already made a plan in his mind. "Duan Wengzi, tell me about the current occupational situation of the territory." "Boss, there are currently 5 blacksmiths, 10 masons, 8 carpenters, 10 miners, and 12 lumberjacks in the artisan camp. There are also some other occupations, such as 2 tailors, 2 breeders, 6 farmers, 3 cooks. Others, either have no living occupations, or have living occupations but want to engage in combat occupations, are assigned to Hua Tianxiang's militia squad, a total of 20 people, of course, the Lord's cavalry squad is not included." Wang Shuo nodded after hearing this. Wang Shuo has always been a little worried about these militia squads. Wang Shuo cannot fully trust the armed forces whose loyalty has not reached 100. However, it is impossible not to use them. After all, this is also a force that cannot be ignored. And, there are only 20 people at the moment, so there is no need to worry at all. It seems that most players do not like dangerous combat occupations, and relatively safe living occupations are more popular. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 85. Okay, Duan Wengzi, Suo Yang, you two will be responsible for arranging personnel, setting up tailor shops, breeding farms, and reclaiming farmland. Now that we have the corresponding personnel, we must let them play to their strengths. Yes, Lord. Bailey Liang, Giliji, you two, assist Hua Tianxiang, go to the outside of Wana village, kill wild beasts, and upgrade. Yes, Lord. The 3 immediately bowed. Hua Tianxiang, go to Mutar and distribute equipment to your militia team to form combat effectiveness as soon as possible. Mutar, you hurry up and make more arrows, the more the better. After everyone left, Wang Shuo said to Abu, you take the remaining members of the Swift Scout Cavalry team to the ancient battlefield to earn merit points. Yes, Lord. Remember, you must pay attention to safety, and you must bring back all my subordinates. Wang Shuo took a look at his subordinates who had reached level 10 or above, and he was very satisfied. This is the capital for his survival. Gilaji is already 100% loyal. Wang Shuo sent her to Hua Tianxiang's militia team, firstly to be responsible for security, and secondly to monitor. In the empty hall, there was still a maid Ziona left. Wang Shuo thought about it and asked her to prepare some tea. Then, he took out Hadro's summoning scroll. In the courtyard, Hadro walked out of the portal. "Long time no see, my dear Lord." Hadro gave Wang Shuo a big hug. "What's the matter? You are so happy." Wang Shuo also smiled. "Thanks to the Lord, I got promoted." "Haha." Hadro said with a smile. "Huh," Wang Shuo said with some surprise, "congratulations. Let's go inside to have some tea and talk slowly." After the two exchanged greetings for a while, it turned out that Hadro was promoted from a peddler to an agent. Although he was only a first-level agent, he was qualified to transfer materials from the branch. With the increase in authority, the number and types of items that can be sold have been greatly improved. Suddenly, Wang Shuo thought of Li Yukai in Nanshan Market, so he asked, "Do you know a man named Li Yukai?" Hadlo thought for a while, then said, "I seem to have some impression. He seems to be a core member of the Li Chamber of Commerce and the sales champion last year. Although I have never seen this person, I have heard of some of his deeds." "So that's it?" Wang Shuo was thoughtful. "Lord, you should be facing the first wave of beasts now." Wang Shuo nodded, "That's right. I made a special trip this time and prepared a lot of good things for you." Hadlo showed his signature smile. Wang Shuo's mouth twitched. It seems that he will bleed again this time, but as long as he can buy good things, everything is worth it. "Oh? If you want to make money from me, let me see what good things you brought." Wang Shuo also showed a smile on his face. "How can you say you're making money when you're doing business? We're helping each other and developing together." Wang Shuo stopped being polite and said with a smile, "Hurry up and take out your good stuff so I can see it." Hadro took out a black ball the size of an egg from his backpack and said to Wang Shuo, "Lord, please look, this thing is called Thunderbolt. It can cause a lot of damage to enemies within the area." Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 86. Wang Shuo took the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt causes 500 health points of damage to enemies within 2 square meters, and 200 points of burning damage to enemies within 5 square meters. Wang Shuo narrowed his eyes and asked, "How many of these do you have? If the number is too small, it won't make much sense." 1,500. When Wang Shuo heard this, his heart became hot, but his expression remained unchanged, and he nodded and said, "What's the price?" 50 gold coins each. Wang Shuo's breathing became rapid. Throwing one out means 50 gold coins. In order to prevent the other party from looking down on him, he said calmly, "Are there any other things?" "Of course, this is a city wall defense charm." City wall defense charm. Each city wall defense charm can temporarily increase the height of the city wall by 10 meters, with a durability of 10,000 points. Wang Shuo thought about it. His outer wall was only more than 2 meters high, and a beast with a slightly better jumping ability could jump in with a light jump. He was worrying about how to build effective fortifications. The wall defense talisman just solved this problem. "How much is this one?" 100 gold coins per piece. "I don't need to say much about the value of this thing. It is definitely a good thing." Hadro looked confident. "These things, but he spent a lot of money to collect them. This is a bronze crossbow construction drawing, worth 5,000 gold coins. A weapon for defending the city. The single attack can reach up to 2,000 damage, and it can also fire 5 spears at the same time, each with an attack power of 500 points. It's really a good thing." Wang Shuo was shocked. In the system store of Nanshanji, Wang Shuo could only buy some bulk living supplies. The combat supplies that could be used to guard the village this time were only big red medicine and tung oil, and the attack power was completely insufficient. This thunder and bronze crossbow can greatly enhance the attack power, so it must be bought. Wang Shuo counted his gold coins. He had already spent 16,000 in Nanshan market, and now he had 28,000. And the thunderbolt alone would cost 75,000. In addition, the bronze crossbow cart would cost 5,000 gold coins, and the wall defense talisman would cost about 200 pieces, and here is another 20,000. A total of 100,000 is needed. Wang Shuo looked at his backpack. He still had 45,000 energy crystals, which scared him. He then remembered that those fearless bees alone contributed more than 20,000 to him. At this moment, he finally had a little confidence. I want all these things. Lord, you are generous. Hadro's face was full of joy. I also have a skill book petrification here. Seeing Wang Shuo so generous, Hadro took out the skill book, and at the same time, he held an unknown talisman paper in his left hand. Petrification, the whole body is covered with hard petrified skin, defense add 100, the body size becomes 1 times larger, the strength increases by 2 times, and the physique increases by 10 times. Oh my god, this skill! Wang Shuo swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and could no longer hold back his reserve, and his face showed undisguised eagerness. Hadro had already expected Wang Shuo's reaction. Anyone who saw this skill book without any occupation requirements could not help but be moved. How much do you plan to sell it for? After a long while, Wang Shuo calmed down and asked lightly. Seeing the talisman paper in Hadro's other hand, Wang Shuo did not want to rob it. A businessman, if he did not have the means to ensure his safe transactions, would have been eaten up long ago. 100,000 gold coins. Hadro was relieved to see that Wang Shuo did not move, and at the same time he looked up to Wang Shuo a little. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 87. When Wang Shuo saw this skill, the first person he thought of was Gongzheng. He planned to train him into a tank, and this skill was tailor-made for him. Is the price negotiable? This skill book can be said to be priceless. I am also very optimistic about the Lord, and I hope that we can still have the opportunity to cooperate, so I took it out. 100,000 is 100,000. Wang Shuo gritted his teeth and agreed decisively. Do you still have the thought seal scroll? Wang Shuo thought about it and asked again. There are 10 more, Hadro said casually, thinking for a while. These 10 will be the extra for this transaction. Hearing Hadro's words, Wang Shuo was a little embarrassed. After all, the transaction volume this time has reached 200,000 gold coins, and he still wants to bargain again. In this way, Wang Shuo can't bring himself to bargain again. Thunderbolt times 1,500, wall defense talisman times 200, bronze crossbow construction drawing times 1, petrification skill book times 1, thought stamp scroll times 10, gold coins minus 20,000, energy crystals minus 18,000. Transaction completed. Wang Shuo asked again, Mr. Hadro, do you know which beasts will attack my village this time? Hadro smiled and shook his head, saying, Lord, I can't say for sure. The monsters in each place are different, but basically they are some monsters near your territory. It was almost the same as Wang Shuo's guess. Hadro was sent away. Wang Shuo quickly handed the bronze crossbow construction drawing to Mutar. Mutar, no matter what, you must build a crossbow tomorrow morning. Can you do it? Wang Shuo gave him a death order. This was obviously contrary to their previous agreement. Mutar looked at the blueprint. Although he was a little embarrassed, he still promised Wang Shuo, I will do my best to build one for the Lord. Then Wang Shuo found Suo Yang and summoned all the masons. Wang Shuo planned to turn the outer wall of his territory into a swamp, which could effectively block the attack of wild beasts. Wang Shuo led everyone to collect a large amount of water from the pond in the territory, and then began to build a mud pit outside the wall. Not long after, Wang Shuo showed disappointment. The idea is beautiful, but the reality is very skinny. Because their efficiency is a bit low. But it's better than nothing. Wang Shuo comforted himself. At this time, he noticed that his skill of summoning mud monsters was almost full. He quickly summoned it twice, and the system prompt sounded. The skill of summoning mud monsters is upgraded to summoning mud puppets. Wang Shuo was stunned for a moment. The mud monster left me? He quickly summoned a mud puppet. Mud Golem. Level 10. Attack, 35. Defense, 50. HP, 2000. Skill, Taunt. Evaluation, a golem born in mud. As a summoner, it is a very good melee cannon fodder. Wang Shuo simply ignored the cannon fodder, but it has a taunt skill, which is very good. If it is in the mud, this golem can still attract hatred very well. If there are hundreds of them, it would be so cool. However, it takes 50 points of mental power to summon one, which directly shattered Wang Shuo's beautiful idea. By the evening, a 2-meter wide mud was finally created outside the wall. After Hua Tianxiang and others who went out to level up came back, Wang Shuo planned to go to the ancient battlefield to see how many military merit points Ayub led the cavalry team to brush. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 88. Hey, brat, now you don't have to go out and earn military merit points yourself. Isn't it great? Zhao Bang said with a smile when he saw Wang Shuo. Old Zhao, please stop teasing me. I'm really at a loss for what to do now. When building a village, you have to do it yourself in the early stages. There is no way around it. Lord Ayub also returned to the Yellow Wind Valley camp at this time. Seeing them all return, Wang Shuo nodded and said with a smile, "Thank you for your hard work. It is our unshirkable responsibility to fight on the battlefield for the Lord. Okay, let me see your results today." After Wang Shuo checked it, he showed a satisfied smile. There are a total of 21,200 military merit points. Wang Shuo thought for a moment and did not choose to summon a tool man this time. After all, tool men below level 5 would not play a big role in tomorrow's battle. After rummaging carefully, Wang Shuo selected 3 things. A set of heavy armor, worth 6,000 military merit points, a summoning token, worth 10,000 military merit points, and a shield, worth 5,000 military merit points. Rock armor, gold level heavy armor, defense add 60, constitution add 100, durability 200/200. A very simple introduction. Compared with the properties of chain armor, it is not inferior, and it is quite suitable for Gongzheng. Body protection gang shield, gold level shield, constitution add 50, defense add 50, skill, gang chi body protection. After the skill is activated, a gang chi shield can be released covering the whole body, so that there are no weaknesses in the whole body, and no part of the body is affected by damage. The damage is deducted from the same health points. There is no skill CD, and 10 points of mental power are consumed every minute. Durability 100/100. This shield, armor, and petrification skills are a perfect combination. It is completely possible to arm Gongzheng into a strong steel boss that can face him. Wang Shuo believes that a boss will definitely appear tomorrow, and Gongzheng is the secret weapon he has prepared. Return to the territory, the meeting hall. Wang Shuo quickly handed the shield and skill book to Gongzheng. ID, SAC 567895536 Gongzheng. Level 14. Attribution, Wana Village. Loyalty, 100/100. Combat occupation, cavalry. Strength, 27. Physique, 45 add 150. Agility, 16. Energy, 15. Qualification, B level, each level provides 4 free attribute points. Combat attribute panel. Attack power, 27. Defense, 110. Health value, 3450. Kung Fu, Diamond Technique. Skills, 1 block, 2 petrify, 3 damage rebound, not learned, 4 life feedback, not learned. Equipment, 1 rock armor, bronze hammer with 2 hands, 2 body shield, 3 crocodile leather boots, 4 bronze helmet. Evaluation, he is no longer a qualified cavalryman, he should be a piece of iron fool. After fighting for most of the day on the ancient battlefield, his level had been raised to level 14, which was higher than Wang Shuo. At the same time, Wang Shuo also chose a diamond technique for him from among the techniques obtained in the dungeon. Diamond technique, yellow level skill, with 7 levels in total. Each level provides all attributes add 1, constitution add 10, and defense add 10 skills, 1 damage rebound after activation, 80% of the damage can be rebounded. Skill CD, 5 minutes, consuming 50 points of mental power. 2 life feedback, a passive skill that recovers 1% of the total damage received every minute. Wang Shuo was quite excited when he saw his attribute panel. This is simply an invincible Xiaoqiang. Moreover, he also has the bond of brothers together, which can increase his health, attack power and defense power by 30%. Invincible. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 89. After Gong Zheng got the equipment, his expression did not change. This made Wang Shuo a little helpless. Wang Shuo planned to let him change his job to a shield soldier in the future, so that his defense could be taken to the next level. After a while of excitement. If Gong Zheng is Wang Shuo's strongest shield, then Ayub is undoubtedly his strongest spear. After thinking again and again, Wang Shuo decided to give Ayub the certificate of the general's job change. At the same time, he also gave him the chain mail, which was as good as the rock armor. As for the others, Wang Shuo also armed them with the good things he could use as much as possible. As for the other golden weapon, the long axe, Wang Shuo did not have a suitable candidate. The next morning, Wang Shuo was still eating breakfast. The system prompt sounded. The angry beasts could no longer tolerate the players' slaughter of them, and were determined to unite and eliminate the humans in their territory. Wang Shuo rolled his eyes, but his face was cold. The invasion of the beasts finally began. At this time, all the beasts in the Dewey area were gathering in an orderly manner. They seemed to have received some kind of order. Even though they were natural enemies at ordinary times, they strangely maintained peace at this moment. Wolves, rhinos, hippos, snakes, eagles. Countless animals gathered together in groups, and some powerful beasts led them. Almost every bronze boss level has opened up their intelligence. Some have the IQ of a 3-year-old child, while others have the intelligence of an adult. They are ready to fight, quietly waiting for other kinds of beasts to join them. Wang Shuo climbed up the outer wall and looked from a high place. Around Wana village, there are densely packed animals of various kinds, the number is immeasurable. It made his scalp numb. It seems that they will gather for at least 1 hour. Back in the meeting room, he opened the Changping County Lord Channel. This channel, which is jokingly called the Village Head Group, currently has nearly 5,000 people. As long as the Lord who established the village, they will automatically join. There are many villages with less than 10 people, so the number of village chiefs seems a bit too much. Pit with diarrhea, Tianxiao, there are so many beasts. I pack up and go to the system town immediately. Is it too late? Go straight to Huanglong, I didn't find so many beasts when I was leveling up. How many people do you have? Can you bear it? Emperorization, my current location is 40 kilometers north of Wadane Mountain. Fellow countrymen who think they can't stop me can come closer to me. Wang Shuo's heart trembled slightly when he saw this message. There is actually a neighbor less than 50 kilometers away from him. He thought about it and greeted the other party. At the same time, he can also test the other party's strength. Red Panda, at Emperorization, how many people are there in your territory? If we come here, can we accommodate them? Emperorization, of course, my Feng's village has more than 400 people now. We have sufficient food, complete defense facilities, and excellent weapons and equipment. As long as you join us, we will definitely be able to survive this crisis safely. There are more than 400 people. Wang Shuo frowned and thought about it. After thinking for a while, he ignored this person. Go to him. Wang Shuo didn't even think about it. Then he opened the chat channel of Hedong County. There are more people in this place. At the beginning, there were 250,000 people, but now there are only 230,000 people left. In just a few days, 20,000 people have been eliminated. It is estimated that these people are either too weak or too unlucky. This time the beasts attacked the village, like a monthly exam. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Chi Wen. Chapter 90. If you pass the test, you can continue to play. If you fail the test, you will be eliminated directly. Brothers, go back to the system town quickly, the beast troops are coming. It's thundering, I have to go back to collect clothes, I'm going to retreat first. The beasts will not attack the system town. As long as you don't go out, your life will not be in danger. Tiandao Xiaojiang, Lords near Luhe County, our Blade mercenary group has applied for a battle. It only takes 20,000 gold coins. Lords who need to request support, click on my avatar to add friends and chat privately. I want it, at Tiandao Xiaojiang, I have added you as a friend. Can you play like this? Wang Shuo's eyes lit up. He could actually ask mercenaries for help. He also hurriedly sent an invitation in the group. Red Panda, Wana Village sincerely invites all players to come and help. You can choose to join the village, or you can fight as a mercenary or a guild. The treatment is favorable. Selling a golden weapon, Scarborough Market, Central Square Trading. Golden weapon, I want it, I can't afford it. You look so unsophisticated, our boss already has a set of golden weapons. yueyuan.com, welcome everyone to register as a member, I hope everyone can find a satisfactory partner. The style is wrong. Seeing the various messages in the group, especially those players who chat casually, Wang Shuo guessed that they should be completely flat. Completely lost the desire to fight for hegemony. Neither thinking about establishing a territory and competing for the world, nor thinking about establishing a force and dominating one side. After all, as long as you have a life skill, you can always find a meal. Working under someone, isn't it all for a meal? After Wang Shuo sent the message, in the blink of an eye, he was overwhelmed by other text messages. After a long time, no one contacted him. It seemed that the message had fallen on deaf ears. Suddenly, the wild beasts in the wild began to roar. Roar, awoo. The sounds of various animals mixed together, as loud as thunder. Wang Shuo was shocked and hurried out. At this time, all the people in Wana village gathered in a small square. Wang Shuo immediately ordered everyone to organize the team. The cavalry squad was led by Ayub, the militia reserve was led by Hua Tianxiang, and the rest of the personnel were all incorporated into the temporary logistics reserve team, led by Duan Wengzi and Suo Yang. After the team was organized, the strategic materials were distributed to the corresponding personnel. As for Dongfang Ling, Wang Shuo did not make any arrangements for her. After all, she was now a guest of Wana village. Wang Shuo ordered people to build a high platform with stone inside the wall. Climbing up the stairs, Wang Shuo stood on it and took a look at the beasts that kept roaring in the distance. After a while, he glanced at everyone again. Dear Wana villagers, this time the beasts attacked the village, which is a major event related to the survival of Wana village. We all came here for the same inexplicable reason. Since we are here, we should make the best of it. But we must never accept our fate. Everyone, do you remember? Live like an ant, but have lofty ambitions. Life is as thin as paper, but have an unyielding heart. The world is uncertain, you and I are both dark horses. One day, we will surely rise to prominence. I believe that as long as we are united, we will be able to withstand the pressure and defend our village. Wang Shuo stood on the high platform, enthusiastically encouraging morale. Good, Duan Wengzi applauded. But the other residents reacted mediocrely. Although they also took the lead in applauding, they were obviously perfunctory. The scene Wang Shuo imagined was, the residents were excited, moved by his sincerity, and thus their blood boiled and their fighting spirit was high. Obviously, he thought too much. Okay, we'll fight together later. I hope everyone can do their job, cooperate closely, and help each other. After the battle, we'll reward each other. Wang Shuo finished his speech, jumped off the platform, and asked the logistics team to start using the city wall defense charm to reinforce the outer wall. At this moment, the roar of the beast began to come from far away. The battle was about to start. Lord Survival, My Shelter in Crocodile Territory. Author, Qi Wen. Chapter 91. After using 120 wall defense charms. At this time, the outer wall was instantly covered by an energy wall. This milky white, transparent wall is about 10 meters high and 4 meters thick. It is enough to withstand the jump of wild beasts. The durability of each square meter is 10,000, and the defense is as high as an astonishing 100 points. Ordinary beasts can't even break the defense, and there is no way to cause damage. Moreover, this wall does not affect the actions of the internal personnel. They can still stand on the original wall and attack the outside. This gave Wang Shuo a great boost in confidence. At the same time, he thought in his heart that after the war, he must build such a solid wall. The dense beasts roared and came, and the ground was shaking slightly. It was like a magnitude 4 earthquake. Wang Shuo seemed to hear the enemy has 5 seconds to reach the battlefield, crush them. After a few breaths, the fast-moving wild wolf was the first to reach the edge of the light wall. It's just that there is a circle of mud pits outside the city wall, which hinders their progress. Wang Shuo saw these chaotic and orderly wolves, and he inexplicably felt a sense of ritual of a military parade. Grassland Grey Wolf. Level 6. Attack, 37. Defense, 8. Health, 950. Skills, none. Evaluation, the most common wild wolf on the grassland, a single one, is slightly stronger than a wild dog, but they are social beasts, usually appear in groups. If you encounter a wolf pack, you have to be careful. After seeing the attributes, Wang Shuo smiled. This low-level beast can't even break the defense of the city wall. Several fierce wild wolves tried to step into the mud pit and were directly trapped. Just like Wang Shuo fell into the swamp at the beginning. The wild wolf struggled a few times, and then slowly sank. Not only were the other wild wolves not scared away, but they stepped into the mud pit one after another. What hatred, what resentment! Is it necessary to do this? However, Wang Shuo admired their courage. Not long after, the mud pit was filled with wolf corpses. The wild wolves behind rushed over. As expected, although these wild wolves bit the milky white light wall desperately, they did not leave even a trace of tooth marks. Wang Shuo snorted coldly, took out the flame gun directly, jumped onto the outer wall less than 1 meter wide, and began to attack the wild wolves. The long spear quickly attacked and pierced into the wolf's back without any hindrance. A casual shot caused more than 150 points of damage. With the protection of the light wall, there is no need to worry about safety. Wang Shuo killed very vigorously. At this time, Hua Tianxiang also shouted, "Militia team, go up the wall to kill the wolves." The militia team, dressed in fine armor and armed with various weapons, also joined the battlefield directly. Seeing that Wang Shuo was not in any danger at all, they were naturally not afraid and rushed to kill the wild wolves. The reason why they worked so hard was not because of Wang Shuo's few words. But Wang Shuo promised that according to the number of beasts killed, they would be given a lot of rewards, including skills, equipment, job transfer certificates, etc. These things were simply the dream of the militia team that did not have a combat profession. Wang Shuo even took out the golden long axe and showed its attributes to everyone. Seeing this, everyone's eyes sparkled and drooled.